stream. Gotta get one thing situated, and then we will start with some current bullshit. At damn near 1 o'clock my time. So I suggest you go grab some food and I suggest you grab snacks and drink and get strapped in because this shit about to hit the fan. I'm actually gonna get rid of that vehicle. What's going on, YouTube? Painter Elite 39, and today, I got some funny ass shit going down today. Damn, I really need to get some shit. Alright. So, give me a second, let me text someone. And we will get this going down. Alrighty. Alrighty. What's going on, YouTube? Painter Elite 39 today. In case you can't tell by the title, I am currently going to be going off on someone from my past who I regret meeting, and I'm going to give you a rundown. I won't even say a rundown.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round.
I'll give you a full rundown of what is going on.
I'll bring it to you.
What led to this situation, and what he's been doing. So, in case you guys haven't been keeping up about the shit with Adapted, since you want to bring my legal government name into it, it's gonna be a lot worse for you. Because I gave you one last warning on stream. If you use my legal government name, that was going to use your full legal name, and you were going to have a consequence that you cannot unseal. I know your fucking address. Yes, you are living in Kingston. I know the full address, the street, the numbers, the exact house that you live in. Fuck around and find out one more time. Ronnie. Or should I say, Ronald. Because you just open up a can of whoop ass you cannot put the lid back onto. Today is the day you enter for your fucking shit, and you start fessing up like a real goddamn man. So, let me give you extensive rundown of what's been going on and what's led to this current situation that Ronnie has found himself in. So, a while back, I got on to Ghost Recon Breakpoint with a friend, and about 2 months later, this friend tells me, hey, I found a guy that I'm going to help out, that he's brand new, fresh out of the fresh off the helicopter onto the island of Aurora. Didn't have much stuff, didn't have all of his stuff unlocked. He had probably one mission unlocked and one trophy. So me and me and a buddy helped Ronnie with his shit. And he was nice to me the first week. The second week, he started turning into an asshole. And I refused to be in a party with Ronnie unless I had my buddy in that party with me. It's the last time that I was in a party with Ronnie by myself. He said something that pissed me off and hurt my feelings. I told him, you better watch who you fucking speak to if we meet up. You better hope to God you have someone to fucking protect you, because I will make you drink through a straw for the rest of your fucking life. Did I threaten him like that? Yes. Yes, I did. Did I care? No. No, I didn't. At one point, he brought my family into a conversation they had no right being part of. All because I picked at a joke that I made to him. And the joke that was, man, you're such a noob at this game. That's what led to the whole situation of him going after my family. Also, hello to viewers. I actually had told my buddy who had introduced me to Ronnie. I wish I had never met this dumb fuck in my life. And every time he said sorry, and I was so naive on believing it, that every time he said I'm sorry, I believed him. Every time. Well, you know what, Ronald? I'm not naive as I once was when we first met. You want to have someone who's naive, go back to your friend group. But once they see the real egotistical side of you, the manipulative side, the abusive side, you're gonna be losing friends and subscribers like there's no goddamn tomorrow. And the funny thing is, I'll be laughing to your very end of your downfall that you got coming. And you may think it's not on the way. Your deserved downfall end is on its way, and it's going faster than you think. When I worked at UPS, he was lying so many times. said he served in the Army, said he served in the Marines, said he served in Special Forces. I believe at one point he said he served in the Navy SEALs. I asked him which region he served in. He goes, Iraq. And he had said Iraq and Afghanistan. Asked him what province of Afghanistan. And he goes, Afghanistan doesn't have a province. Yes, it does. Because believe me, I had buddies who went over there and lost some good men because of it. Some who had just barely gotten out of high school. One of the very well-known province that I'm pretty sure is in Marcus Luttrell's book, Lone Survivor, is I'm pretty sure the Kandahar province. Or Kandahar, or whatever province it is. It starts with a K. I know it isn't a province. I know that for a fact. I caught him in that lie. I told him to knock it off on the line. I'm not lying. I had a buddy. He was in the Marines. I asked him, "Hey, bro, do you have a guy in your branch of the military by the name of Ronnie?" And I gave him the last name. He said no. He ran it 4 times and not a single person by that first and last name came back in the system. That's how I knew he was lying. Years down the road, he went back to claiming stolen valor, saying he served in the Marines and that he flew Apaches. Bro, you are the biggest fucking dipshit idiot I've ever encountered. Because Marines don't use Apaches. They use Cobras and Vipers. Yeah, you want to argue with me? See, I may not know a lot about Marines,
I got some ideas.
but when it comes to their gunships, I know at least what they use. Stuff and you clearly don't have any fucking common sense in. At one point, he claimed that he was a police officer for Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, that he was a sheriff's deputy for Las Vegas, a SWAT officer for Vegas, Border Patrol. At one point, I recorded, Ronnie, by you claiming to be part of those agencies, you've committed felonies, which could get you in federal prison for impersonation of a federal agent. The Border Patrol definitely could get you impersonated, and you committed stolen valor God knows how many times. I've counted at least 32 times, if not more, of stolen valor. So you're already looking at 32 felonies. Because yes, stolen valor is a crime. And if convicted, you will serve time in a federal prison. Going on to the past, I'd say, past year to the past I think up to February, I think. Adapted's done nothing but lie to everybody, pretty much. Because at one point, me and several of his buddies, well, once his buddy, the others not so much, but he had said, "Alright, I'm going to bed." I check his game profile just to see. Dumbfuck didn't even show himself offline and went straight to, because we were playing GTA, we were in the middle of a roleplay scene. Bro went straight to, Call of Duty Warzone. When confronted, that was my dad. I'm calling mad bullshit. He claimed to be an electrician. I called bullshit on that. He claimed that he wasn't lying and that, oh, my grandpa pays me $100 an hour. Dude, there's no electricians that pay that high. Because believe me, I called the highest paid electrician in the United States. I think he was making like $73 an hour. He's been in that job since he was, I think, 17, 18, somewhere around there. I have people who were there who heard me on that call. And I asked the guy, is it possible to make $100 an hour? Because I called his business. And he said no. That it is, unless of course you're the person who made the business, then maybe. But even if you made the business, you gotta, pay your workers, you gotta pay the business fee, you gotta pay the utilities to keep your business going, all that. And I confronted that with Ronnie. His ass said, my grandpa owns the place. Okay, well, technically, realistically, you wouldn't be making $100 an hour. Or you wouldn't be making $100 an hour. He wanted to argue with me. Even though, dude's a high school dropout. I'm like 90% sure dude didn't even go to high school. Because, Ronnie, you may think that, oh, lying to your new friends makes you look cool. It makes you look desperate. And you don't do your research, so it makes you look fucking stupid. Not to mention the, oh, I don't know, the 12 times you threatened me and the person I was dating at the time. With your little ass buddy Sean Monroe. Because yes, he even threatened me and the person I was dating. Because you two thought it was cool as hell to threaten someone. I dare you to come to St. Louis, Missouri and say to my fucking face, I will meet you at Union Station, the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station, so you can say it to my face. Matter of fact, I will wait right in front of the Amtrak station. Right across the street from the Civic Center. The Enterprise Center. I'll be waiting there. You just give me the day. I will not care if it's a 2v1. I will whip both of your motherfucking asses. Because Sean, I know you in Canada don't fucking fight. And Ronnie, I know your ass will be winded by this third punch. In fact, I guarantee you one punch and your mule could be on the ground saying please stop. Because you're fucking soft. You threatened me, you threatened my family, you threatened the person who I was dating and I cared about. My thing is, I still care about that person that you threatened. The other funny thing is, I still had that audio recording. If you want me to, Ronnie, I will plaster that shit all over my YouTube and TikTok for everyone to hear. To make it. My goal is for your deserved downfall off this fucking platform. You say that I made you want to commit fucking suicide? You know me better than that, dude. Everyone in the group knew me better than that. I never picked a bone with you in a rude way after that day when you threatened my family. And the only time I did joke with you, I was late for work. And you wouldn't let me leave until you finished. And I said, today, buddy. Because I had to leave. You wanna know the funny thing? I was still late for work. I never made you want to commit suicide, and you're over here spreading lies about that. I have witnesses who will prove that I never once made you want to commit suicide. So what, that one day you want to commit suicide because your grandma, you said, was going to make it through the day, and I stayed with you for 17 straight fucking hours through a PlayStation party and a fucking phone call didn't matter anymore? You say I didn't care about your feelings. Bitch, if I didn't care about your feelings, I would have told you to fuck off, I'm going to bed. But I stayed up with you for 17 straight hours. So no, I'm not apologizing for shit. You want me to apologize? Apologize for what? Talking to you for 17 straight hours when you told me to let you die? How me and someone still had the recording in case you had committed suicide of us saying that we did not force it upon you and we were trying to talk you out of it? You're trying all these desperate lives to make yourself look like the victim, when in all reality, you're making yourself look more like the fucking villain. Now you decided to go after a fucking teenager and use his PlayStation name? And you decided to come after me and use my legal name? Nah. See, we're not doing that fucking bullshit today, dude. I will, one way or another, make you stop using my legal name on the fucking internet. If you see this and comment on my channel that you want me to stop using your legal name, you better stop using mine fucking first. Because up until now, I had respect for you. Even all the mad shit that you put me through and the lies you fucking spread. I had respect for you. To not put your name in a fucking video. Keep this bullshit up, Ronnie. And eventually you're going to get a visit from me at your house. With law enforcement. And a lawsuit for defamation. Saying that I made you want to commit suicide when you know full goddamn well that's a goddamn lie. Because I will have everyone on a fucking phone call to prove my case that I was on the phone with you for 17 straight fucking hours. "17 straight hours that I'm not getting back. Ever. That was 17 hours I could have used to play a different game. To watch a YouTube video. And what did I do with that 17 hours? That'd be a selfish, fucking egotistical asshole and a lying sack of shit and a douchebag like you were. And decided to help you try to stay alive. So if your grandmother did survive, which fortunately she did, but in case your grandmother did survive, she wouldn't have to come visit your fucking funeral. You're only pissed off and salty at me because I told you I'm not helping your ass any fucking more until you start learning to tell the goddamn truth. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that they got help taken away from them? As a matter of fact, it wasn't even taken from you. You pushed that help away. I've offered you. Several teenagers in the group had offered to help you. Hell, even our buddy Bad Boy, who was barely even on, decided to try to help you. And you pushed those help away. And at one point, if I remember correctly, you used the hard N-E-R word towards Bad Boy, who yes, is black. You actually said that to a former member of ours. And you got pissed off when he clapped back at you. Look at it now, I should have kicked you from the fucking group and unfriended you right then and there. So if anyone has some apologizing, it's you for the amount of shit that you put us through. You bring my name into it saying that I'm a fucking douchebag and I want you to fucking kill yourself. No. That's not the person who I am. And I have witnesses. May not be here and to say I currently live in, but in Mississippi where I used to live, yeah. People there would testify that I will be there with a helping hand no matter what you put me through to help. get you back on your fucking... Look at now, I should have just told you to fuck off. Should have just said fuck off and throw you to the side like trash. But I didn't. Because I thought maybe, just maybe, with a little sliver of help, or not help, a little sliver of hope that you will change. And I was right, you changed. But not for the better. If anything, you changed for the worst. I'm not even talking about a slight worst either. I'm talking about you changed dramatically for the worst. Most people have offered you help. You took it and then immediately pushed them away when the solution to your problem did not meet what you wanted. And if I remember correctly, Ronnie, or should I say Ronald? You actually went off on several teenagers in the group, cussing them out. One of them had nothing to do with what was going on, because the problem was between me, you, and two other people who I'm not going to name. All of them I'm definitely not going to name. And when I told you that was enough, you told me I'm going to say enough when I say it, enough is enough, and I kicked you from the party for it. And you me respond with a voice message that everyone can back me up with was, I'm going to fucking kill myself because you kicked me from the party. I told you I only kicked you from the party so you can calm the fuck down. You made everyone unfucking comfortable when you said that you killed dogs and you kill your dogs and your cats and you fucking eat them. And when I said, the fuck are you, a Chinese person? You said yes. And then you said Chinese people don't eat dogs and cats. Actually, in history, they actually have, and they still do. Just like in Peru, they eat guinea pigs. I'm not making that up. Oh, and I even told you that in ancient China, they used to eat birds' nests. And you thought I was joking on that. I learned about that, I think, one day in middle school. That was it. And it wasn't even a lecture that a teacher gave. We had a student. It was I think he had moved from China to the United States to get better education. And some of us were curious on what they actually ate over there. So one of the students was brave enough to ask what do you guys usually eat in China? He said birds, dogs, cats. I think he said mice. He said his ancestors had used to eat birds' nests. And when I told you about that information, you called me a fucking liar. It didn't really bother me that much, though. Until I got a call to watch the stream that you had made. Literally a few minutes before I made this response video. Thank God I was still a fucking way. I watched a video and you went after a member who was in our group who was quiet as fuck. Calling him a douchebag, a liar, a fucking hypocrite, and all this other shit. How is he a liar when he's told nothing but the truth? Day in and day out. How? That's what I want to know. How? He's told nothing but the truth. Something that you, Ronald, also have a fucking problem with. And by the way, Ronald, if you don't believe that I know your address, I can say the whole address, zip code, state, and city you live in. But I think it would just be funnier if I showed up in person at your fucking front door. And the thing is, I'm not gonna fucking kill you. If you swing on me, I'm gonna immediately swing on you. Here's the thing. I don't ever wish death upon my enemies. Something that I've heard you say on more than one occasion that I wish death upon my worst enemies. In the 2 weeks that led up to where we are now, I had just gone back, had my entire headset muted. I heard you say that you wanted to fucking kill me. And at one point, I actually heard you say you were going to have a hitman. Brother, right there, you just committed several felonies. Not to mention, where are you going to get the 10 grand from? I know you don't have it because you don't have a fucking job. You rely on your daddy's money to get games and other shit that you fucking want. Because you're incompetent to go get a job or fucking hold a job down. And there's been days you wanted me to call off of work. And there's been days you said I'm too lazy to actually go to work. Dog, I've been at this job for a fucking year. I've been working for the same company since April 17th of last year. I've been there for a year and 1 month. Some odd days, some odd minutes, seconds, hours. Whole 9 yards. What were you doing when I worked at UPS for 3.5 years? I'll tell you, lying to make yourself look cool as hell. Knowing you were committing several federal felonies of stolen valor. Claiming that you were a SWAT officer. That's impersonation of a law enforcement, which is a felony. Claiming that you were a police officer for Las Vegas that multiple people has caught you on saying that's a I don't know if that's a federal felony, but that's definitely a felony. Claiming that you're a sheriff's deputy for Las Vegas, yeah, that's definitely a felony because that's also impersonation. then you claimed that you were a... I think a staff sergeant in the army? Which, right there, for one, is stolen valor. For two, is an impersonation of a non-commissioned officer. Both of which is definitely a felony. So you really want me to get a hold of Las Vegas police on their non-mercy number and tell them about the amount of lies that you fucking said, claiming that you were a police officer, a sheriff's deputy, a SWAT officer for them? Not to mention getting hold of the Department of Defense with the claims that you were in the military. I still have those recordings. You tell me I'm dumb as fuck, that I don't know anything. Part of it is true. I think of myself as dumb. But I'm a hell of a lot more smart than you are. So unlike you, at least I graduated high school. Thursday, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, Thursdays that my brain doesn't want to do basic additions and subtraction. I gotta use a calculator when I'm at work. Other days, it's just non-existent. It's just off in La La Land, and I have a long line, so I just go, give me 1 second, let me use my calculator on my phone to calculate how much I owe you back. Yes, I'm a human. I make a mistake. I'm not afraid to admit it. A couple days ago, I made a mistake at work. I told someone their total, they gave me their money. I typed in the exact amount that they were to owe me instead of the amount that they were actually giving me. And I used my calculator and I put in the amount that they gave me and subtracted the amount that they owed and gave them their correct change back and let my manager know. Ronnie, you're going to end this fucking lying bullshit. You're going to quit calling people egotistical assholes, douches, and everything when you're being one of your goddamn self. Because if not, and if I catch you saying that you're a police officer for one state or another, or a sheriff's deputy for one state or another, I will be contacting the departments that you claim you were a member of, and I will be giving them the evidence that they need to arrest you and put a warrant out for your arrest. Because trust me, if they can't find you, they'll put a warrant out for your arrest and then come after you. Let me catch you claiming to be a Marine or an Army soldier one more time. So I will get in touch with the DOD and submit the evidence that you've been claiming as well. Trust me, you're not gonna like it. Because I don't know that much about what the military police does. But I can guarantee you, they will knock it. If you don't answer, they're not going to knock it down. They're going to kick your door down. And they will not. If they have a reason to kick your door in, I guarantee you, they will not pay for damage done to your door. Quit fucking lying. Quit saying that you're all this shit when you're really not. You're doing it to make yourself look cool, but you're committing multiple felonies. Because it's ultimately not going to end well for you. Just trust me. There's been even politicians who said that they served in a certain branch of the military, whether it be Army, Marines, Navy, and they never did, and they got caught for it. You may think that you're invincible, but you're really not. Oh, well, there goes my engine. Surprisingly, I still have a canopy after that. But no. Ronnie, you're gonna knock this bullshit off. How in the how did I miss that? Well, I definitely can't gain. Definitely can't gain out. But yeah, no. This shit's going to fucking end one way or another. If it doesn't, I'll just get in contact with everyone that heard you say that you were a police officer and you were this and you were that, and I will submit that myself. And I don't want to do that if your grandmother or your grandma or whoever it is still in the hospital. Cause I kind of like people to see their family while they're still in the hospital. But then if it gets justice served, then I will not hesitate. You say that I'm the one who started this whole shit show. But yeah, you don't want to take any accountability for your own actions that led to this fucking point because you're the one who did this first. And every time you say, "Oh, I never did this," I have multiple people on my behalf who will say, "Yes, you fucking have." Oh shit! Ah, well, fuck. Guess they'll turn for me today. Too far from super. I'll solve that problem real goddamn quick, actually. Yeah, no, you claim all this shit from you being in the army to whatever the case. But you never have. And all you're doing is not only lying, but also creating a felony charge for yourself. That once evidence is submitted, you'll be getting at least probably 15 years for, if not all charges, or if not for one charge. I don't know how much for impersonating a law enforcement officer for Arizona and Vegas goes for. I think the fine is probably like is anywhere from like $1,000 to I think $25,000. I think a prison time of I think 5 to 10 years. I think. I know Stolen Valor is a serious one, and you could look at serious time for that one. I just don't remember how long you can go to prison for. Shut up, Ron. And the fact of you saying, like I said, that I made you want to commit suicide, on what proof and on what basis have I ever wanted you to commit suicide or made you want to go to the point of committing suicide? As far as I remember, I don't remember doing any of that. And I have witnesses to back me up on that. I'm not the type of person that would look at you and be like, let me pick up this guy until he commits suicide. Because, again, I'm not that way. But you're trying to paint me as this monster who is, when unknowingly you're painting a bigger picture of what you're actually creating from me, but not you're painting a bigger picture of what you're creating for me, but you're painting a smaller picture for yourself to make yourself look like the victim and me look like the aggressor in this. No, I'm only responding as the aggressor because you were the aggressor first in this entire situation. And at one point, it all came from me telling him, or telling everyone in the group at one point to shut the fuck up because I couldn't hear one member trying to ask me something, even though that one member asked me twice for him to stop yelling, and I asked him for him to stop yelling. So 4 times in total, we've asked this dude to stop yelling. And he continued. And then when I told him to shut the fuck up, he's like, you don't have to go that far, you could have asked nicely. Like, fucking dumb fuck. I know you're stupid, but you're on a whole new level of stupid. And then the next day you're telling me if I could ask you nicely for a 3rd time. No, because 2 members asked you nicely twice to stop screaming. And you continued, and when we told you to shut the fuck up, you're over here like, I don't like the way they talk to me. That actually hurt my feelings. See, at one point I cared about your feelings. Now I don't give a fuck about you or your feelings. As far as I'm concerned, you can go into a little safe corner and start fucking crying before I give a damn. Because you and your dumb fucking bullshit is one day going to get your ass And I said numerous live streams. Because you don't know how to keep your fucking mouth shut. It's going to either get you hospitalized or it's going to get you killed. When I tell you, hey, you shouldn't be talking like that, you tell me shut the fuck up and that it's a freedom of speech. And you abuse the freedom of speech part so much. Like, you used the hard NER word one day around a lot of people. And we told you that, yeah, even though freedom of speech might be a thing, that's a word that can get you shot. And you said, they won't shoot me. Dog, when I lived in Memphis, I saw some dude get beat at a bus stop for no fucking reason. So yeah, they would definitely shoot you over that word in Memphis, Tennessee. If they would be petty enough in Memphis, Tennessee to beat some dude at a bus stop, yeah, they would not hesitate to just shoot you for saying that word. Give me 1 second. And like I said, you got mad when one member went off on you because you had actually called him that word. You could go ahead and say, oh no I didn't, yada yada yada. There were witnesses, and there were recordings of it.
Okay, well...
Because not just you, who was trying to play the fucking victim, say that, oh, he made me resort to that way. No one made you resort to that. You resort to that on your own. And in your live stream, when you were talking about an old member of the group, you kept saying, I turned to God, yada yada yada. Like, cool, great, you turned to God. But the amount of shit that you said, I don't think God would forgive you for. I remember at one point you said, I don't give a fuck about God and God's not real. And I'm like probably 65% sure that you had said worse shit about that. Said a lot worse shit about God. I don't think God would even accept you into heaven for that shit. If he does, it's a fucking miracle. I don't go to church as much, but I still believe in God. At one point, several of us were trying to tell you, hey, read the Bible every once in a while. And you said, I'm not reading that fucking dumbass book. Yeah, you actually said that. Don't try to play innocent when you know for a fact you're not. Because you've criticized God, you've criticized Jesus Christ. Hell, it was just me and you in a party one day. You said, I don't think Jesus even existed. Try telling that to the religions. Whether it be Catholic, because I know Catholic believes in Jesus Christ. I don't know about Protestants. I know Christians who heavily believe in God and Jesus. Try telling that to them. So I know the Muslims don't believe in God and Jesus. They believe in Allah. Or Allah, or... No, it's Allah. And they don't have a Bible, they have a Quran, which is their version of the Bible. Ronnie, I may be dumb, but when it comes to other religions, I at least know what I'm talking about. Because I learned about it when I was in school, I learned about some of it in my spare time. Hell, before modern day England, I think was during the I think it was like Queen Mary or something. It's one of those. It's one of the queens. When England kept going to war because of religion, that wasn't made up. That was actually a thing, and I told you about that. You said it never really happened. And I responded with, "Yeah, I did." Because I do my research, and like I said, it's been a while since I've learned about that one. I can't remember who it was. And at one point, you said you knew. You said you had talked about something about God. And I asked what one of the wars that was fought, what God's people were. And you said you didn't know, and I told you, and you're like, that never happened. Yeah, I actually did. Now, there's also a Banks out on me a song about that too, called The Last Stand. Anyway. Ronnie? You need to learn to do your research before you start saying shit, for one. Which I know you're not gonna do, because you want to sound cool and you want to sound smart, when in all reality you don't do your research and it makes you sound fucking dumb. It honestly baffles me how far you've gone with the amount of shit that you got wrong, and when people try to correct you, you call them a liar and that you were fucking wrong because you know every goddamn thing. What you're gonna do, Ronnie, and I don't care if you want to like it or not, you owe a lot of people a fucking apology. Me especially. For slandering my name, lying. I can go down the list. I actually have an entire, like, half a stencil book filled out of all the shit that you've done. You're gonna quit your lying. You're gonna quit your stolen valor. You're gonna quit claiming to be in different law enforcement agencies when you never fucking were. Or if you don't, and you continue all this, I can just send the evidence to the proper authorities and have your ass arrested. You can make your fucking choice. So, like I said, pick your choice. For you, I would be smart and actually go with the apology version. But that's gonna do it for this video. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.